close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a wonderful night of Siege, of CEA Siege. Specifically, tonight we're going to have a great contest in our round of 32 for our Open League. I am Coinman1863, and with me today is Blue Card. How you doing, Blue Card?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been itching to see some Siege today. I'm excited. We get a pretty interesting matchup between Florida International and New Jersey. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm also looking forward to this as well. It looks like we're going to have an exciting set of matches today. We get to do a best of 3 today. And
Ooh.
in that best of 3, we have first map will be Villa, which is Florida International's pick, and second map will be Cafe, which is New Jersey's pick. So I am extremely excited to cast my first best of 3 in a very, very long time. What are you
But
expecting
wait,
to see?
Coinman, didn't you say it was best of 3? What's the third map?
Consulate, if we get the decider.
Ooh,
Oh boy, we get some variety today. It's rather exciting.
I'm hoping we get to see a third map because that just means both teams play really well and very evenly matched, which kind of equates to a good game. So my fingers are crossed. But we're not gonna stall you guys out here anymore. We're gonna get right into the bands here. First, coming out from New Jersey is going to be the Thatcher band, a band that we've come to know and love very well as of late. Thatcher is just kind of the generic band, one of the operators you want to ban if you're running the Goyo Jaeger Womai strat that is so prevalent in the Defender meta. And on that note, Womai and Cali are allowed because we are in playoffs now, so we might be seeing a little bit of those being played tonight. And in response, Florida is going to take the Thermite off the board. That's a ban you don't see all too much compared to the Thatcher, though.
Yeah, especially on this map, it loses a fair amount of utility, as the only place where it's generally useful is when you're breaching statuary from the from the bedroom side. And outside of that, it's not particularly easy to do entry. Like if you're trying to do, for instance, say pool over there, it's very difficult to get in because you usually have a crossfire over from your 90 hallway and from map room. And from our last two bands, we have Echo and Mira, which are pretty consistent, normal bands, I'd say, for defense.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting seeing Florida ban Thermite considering they're attacking first. Villa is one of those maps where I don't quote me on this, but I believe every single wall you can actually impact trick over. So Hibana is going to be your main hard breacher if you don't want to deal with those pesky impact tricks, especially with the introduction of Womai, just reducing the amount of flashes and grenades you can actually get over those walls. And it actually looks like New Jersey will be bringing Womai here, just trying to shut down all of the gadgetry that the attack has to bring. And an interesting six pick from the Mozzie onto the Legion, showing that, hey, we're not really all that interested in intel denial. We're just gonna more of the intel, getting an intel on the attackers.
Yeah, picking the traditional first sight here, which is pool and maps, you don't generally need as much intel like with the Mozzie or intel denial, because you have a pretty good idea of where they're attacking from. There really are only two good vectors, unless they bring a buck downstairs, which they do have. So we might see JN there leverage the buck downstairs in the little front hallway to try and get into pool.
It's always interesting to see these multi-dimensional pushes come out. Aviator being a site where you can push really either from study, from bedroom side, or from underneath, or a combination of those to try to get some, again, that multi-dimensional pressure. And Womai actually throwing one of his magnets outside on that study balcony, so when the attackers throw a gadget, it will actually be utilized against them. And if it isn't drained properly, it could catch a nade and catch one of the attackers off guard, but it doesn't look like the attackers are going to be pushing from that side at all. It's the bedroom and the closet windows are going to be opened up very early on. Here the drones at Ash's feet. Buck opening up some holes from Skull window there, just trying to get some crossfires and cut out that rotation. Actually, a really smart rotation to cut off early on.
Yeah, it's also important to note that the Womai is currently the only gadget that gets Capitao bolts. And we do not see a Capitao here, so that utility is a little bit lost while still being extremely powerful as randomly pulling a grenade to his side, which may just mess with some people seriously. As we see here, Legion at 90 running back into pool, throwing out his goo towards study and study and astronomy. As we see someone getting a tiny black eye cam there. That was in the main hallways. Buck we have on 90 window here, repelling down, trying to make his rotation with a minute 45 left.
Yeah, you actually saw the yellow ping from the defenders come out on that vault wall there, and it was soft, but they did end up getting that reinforced before the attackers could make their way into the 90 corner there. Definitely a good play from the defense. That probably should have been reinforced earlier in the round, but seeing as it was, they did get it reinforced before the attackers could do anything. Lots of flashes and frag grenades going over that vault wall. Make sure there's no one playing it, but there's no one playing there anyways, and there's no ADS or magnets to cover that. The defenders are going to give him vault as Ash pushes into maps and finds the first frag onto not even trying. Obviously sticking true to his name, just misses that peak. IQ pushing into vault, going to get smoked and be taking a lot of damage. He's going to swing on the Valkyrie and find her and sit her down, and actually find another one onto that smoke as well, bringing it to a 5v3 post plant in favor of Florida International here. Jaeger flanking around. We'll find two, one in the vault and one towards top red, kind of evening the odds just a little bit more ever in their favor. And Meep's going to swing onto the Hibana as she's caught looking the wrong direction, evening it to a 2v2. Ash is very lit, but both attackers are back outside, just holding long angles. She's going to swing up and find the frag onto Universe, leaving it to a 2v1. 17 seconds left. Meep's going to have to make some sort of move here. So there's an attacker on both sides of him here, swinging back and forth, swinging into study, but it's going to be Menti who finds him and sits him down. Overall, really good attack from Florida there, just making sure they have everything they need to covered, getting that diffuser down, and then just a really nice post-plant positions there.
Yeah, it was actually surprisingly close in this particular case here. Towards the end, it got extremely tight due to their not checking their own rotational that they set into vault. So we'll see how the attacker side manages to deal with checking their own flank, as that managed to get them 3 kills, not expecting someone to whip around from 90 hallway and checking down the 90 long hallway through to statuary.
Yeah, it definitely. I didn't see any use of those nomad air jabs. I'm sure they were on their flanks, but unfortunately, New Jersey just didn't try to flank them at all. They were just caught off guard and were pushed into sight as the attack just kind of revolved completely around them into 90 as well as Study, just choking them into the site. And well, then New Jersey really couldn't do much. Even though they were choked into sight, Florida International still got that diffuser down behind that vault door, being a super strong plant spot. The only angle you can really deny that from is from Study Door, and that's a hard angle to push up to. Or you could try to swing in through Aviator, and that's not a very great angle too. So if the attack gets behind that vault door, it's not a very good position to be in, especially when your smoke was fragged out pretty early on. But it looks like New Jersey is feeling confident. They're going to go back and try this Aviator hold again. Maybe make sure all their reinforcements are down this time. That way they don't need to call that Legion back from holding 90 so early on.
Yeah, and as the round starts here, we'll make note that the attacker side in Florida International has not changed their setup. While on the defensive side, we have seen a Maestro being brought out in this particular case. So using those Evil Eyes a little bit more effectively, we'll see how quickly Ash will manage to get to them. Also important to note that we did see the powerful 6-pick option of Legion onto Legion.
I still can't believe more teams aren't using the 6-pick onto the same operator. Because it really is just like the most like mental game you can play, because the other team would never expect for you to 6-pick onto the same operator. So it just gives you a huge advantage in the game. But here, a really fast attack coming out from Florida International, already taking all the way up towards that top red and 90 hallway. Having that pressure down, you heard the Nomad put our air jabs down on Astro Stairs, so those are down to be utilized. That's actually going to be War Hazard on the Maestro here in 90, trying to hold this off, but being pressured from outside 90 window by Buck in those frag grenades is going to be a hard position to hold. He's going to try to back off, and well, Buck isn't holding the angle quite effectively enough, but they still get Maestro pushed out of that 90 corner.
Yeah, they're slowly moving up onto site with a minute 45 here. They now seem to have hold of most of the top floor, with everyone having regressed back onto site. It looks like they did manage to reinforce the vault, the soft vault wars. We see flashes going out here, as not even trying manages to get Santa here. And that's a very, very strong pick, the Ash, and I don't believe any of the Ash charges were used quite yet. So good job on the Wamai there with the AUG. As we see Buck slowly moving onto site here and throwing out a fragment clear barbed wire, maybe a point.
Especially with that Ash being on so early, those Evil Eyes are going to roam prevalent here. Now they really can't be taken down. Buck had a single nade left. I'm sure he just used it and missed. Well, Meep's going to find another frag, just putting the hurt onto Florida. Another one coming out from the Womai, but a nice flank cover from Habana, Lyrid there, catching the Legion and the Maestro, bringing it effectively to a 2v2 because the smoke is down. He's not going to be able to use his toxic waves from on the floor there. Some late drones going out, just trying to find these last two attackers and where they're at. But Lyrid here caught on the rotate from Universe, coming up from red. Maybe those air jabs just not being played quite effectively enough. Or maybe he just saw it and shot it off. But it's now down just to Menti in a 1v3 as Smoke is picked back up at 20 HP. So very low. But he's still up. He's still on gun. That's a crossfire that you could set up, and well, if you peek into a crossfire, you're most likely not coming out with your head up. 15 seconds on the clock though. Menti's pushing in with a flash, finds one, but again, that crossfire is not something you want to peek into. Is not even trying, sits him down. Beautiful adaptation from New Jersey there, taking that site again and actually winning it back this time.
Yeah, that was a very, very good pivot in this particular case to a more effective strategy with the Maestro, especially in the case where they managed to take out the Ash early. So that means all the Evil Eyes were very active, and it seemed like they're actually pointing in a good way. As when Maestro dies, you can't move the Evil Eyes anymore, and that was, I'd say, all in all, a very good defense and how they leveraged all their positions. Now we're moving to Trophy Statuary. using a mute this time, and more interestingly, the attacker side not changing an operator again, and not leveraging the 6 pick. I'll be curious, and I always seem to never tell that to be the case, as the IQ gets turned into a Capitao. So we might actually see the Wamai eat a Capitao Bolt, which will be an exciting change of pace.
Yeah, well, mine's been in play for the playoffs so far, and I still don't think I've seen his magnets utilized for the Capitao. It's such a strong counter. Considering Capitao had been uncounterable before this, there was no gadget that countered Capitao. His crossbow bolts could fly free without worry. But now those magnets actually gobble them up and take them off their desired course. So, I mean, even a well-placed magnet could really destroy that. But I'm talking all about Wamai, and New Jersey actually opted not to bring a Wamai this round and decided to stick the Mozzie mute combo, saying that they're probably going to be trying for a lot more intel denial this time around. We've seen Florida International use those drones super effectively and be able to take a lot of map coverage very quickly due to that. This could be what New Jersey needs to put another round on the board.
And it looks like they're doing a very quick second floor take, as it seems to be Florida International's habit, or very, very quick early take to claim the other side of the floor that the opponent is currently not on. So they've already moved all the way from office into map room and getting eyes into the small little corridor next to statuary, which is an extremely quick push, only 30 seconds into the round. They found one of the mute jammers already on the stairs.
Yeah, New Jersey's gonna have to kind of realize that they're going for a south to north push here and kind of rotate most of their defense to hold this south push, because if the defense is split, they're not really gonna have much chance against the full force of the attack. But that's exactly what they do. Is Universe finds the first headshot onto Mod there. That's the Capitao off the board without his bolts being used at all yet. So that's a lot of utility gone. That's a really good first pick. We see the Buck here trying to shoot and try to find just anything he can just with those pre-fires. But the defense isn't going to be peeking him. It's not even trying. It's going to be down below main stairs. Going to be very patient with his flank. He knows that they have a Nomad. He knows that there's most likely an air drive on those stairs. So he's just got to take his time. It actually looks like Lyrid knows he's pushing up. He's watching from study, and he will find the Jaeger. Beautiful flank watch. There must have been a drone there, but War Hazard is going to answer back with a refrag onto Santa. That's the Sofcon. But Meep with a quick two-piece up from Red. They had the flank watch on main, but not from Red, and that's Diffuser down top Red. It's not on just Menti against 4 defenders, and he doesn't have Diffuser, and he's outside bathroom and bedroom. This is going to be a hard round to pull back.
Yeah, this is a really interesting case where it is, just double checking here, this is Florida's map, and it's rather interesting to see that they're getting flanked so effectively, and that was something that we saw both in all 3 rounds, is that they do a quick fast push, and then they don't necessarily check their flanks for the second flanker. They manage to get the first one, as we saw, and not even trying getting taken down, but the second one is usually what seems to actually do them in particular and spectacular fashion.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like Florida's going to be taking a tactical timeout, an unofficial tactical timeout, of course, as Nomad is just going to be sitting on that rooftop there, just going to use these last 30 seconds here to her advantage to talk with her team, to try to figure out what's going on here.
10 seconds to go.
Looks like Florida International is banking a lot on those air jabs and completely stopping the flanks. And yeah, they're great at giving a heads up, but a single bullet could take the... Sorry, the Maester shocking the bandit there caught me off guard. But a single bullet could take those air jabs down, and now the roamers are just free to move around. And yeah, they have that additional drone to watch the main stairs flank, and they punished not even trying on the Jaeger. But Mozzie pushing up from red stairs, Meep finding a 2-piece, that's a small mistake that you can't really let happen, and it's those small mistakes that cost rounds.
Yeah, and so now we're into moving the 3rd round here, which means you have to go downstairs to Dining Kitchen, so we'll get to see the entirety of Astronomy ripped apart by a Buck, I'd have to assume here, as we see, again, the exact same comp from the attacker side. Again, makes me wonder whether or not if they're doing the Empire thing of just banging their head against the wall and then eventually they'll break through. As we see on the defensive side, we see a castle being brought as that is very, very traditional in the downstairs defense of dining kitchen. Or not a castle, something else entirely. And upstairs, we do see the Nomad switch to a sledge, as it looks like they're going to be doing a fully vertical assault. And I didn't manage to catch who the last swap was. No, it was a castle onto a
You'll
castle.
never guess it. You'll never guess it. Castle onto the castle.
No, it was obviously onto Tachanka.
That's the 1000 IQ pick.
Yeah. Your opponent
yeah,
will never guess because they don't even know that you 6-picked anyway.
Exactly. They'll never guess it. It's impossible to. So we actually, the 6-pick onto the book from the men team, kind of showing that Florida International saying, hey, these air jabs really aren't working out for us. How about we take an operator that has a gadget that we can kind of utilize a lot better. I'm not sure if taking off the Nomad, or 6ing off the Nomad was the right call because she is so powerful on shutting those flanks down. I just think they need to be placed a little bit better because you need some sort of flank watch. You need to either dedicate people to watch the flanks or dedicate gadgets, whether that be claymores, air jabs, or the tracks from Gridlock. You need to do that on Villa because there's so many flanking routes and it's such a big map. It's really hard to lock something down once you've taken it. There's so many different routes that the attack can push from. But Florida International, again, not wasting any time. It's already starting to put pressure.
Corner of luggage. Oh, or laundry. Oh boy. I just saw the outline there.
I missed it, so... Yeah, holding that close, but it actually looks like Florida International is going to be going, or at least trying to push through pantry stairs here. Wait, did Sledge just use a nade to open that castle up?
Yeah, that I have some questions, but we'll see as how well it turns out. There likely was a reason for it. They may rotate him upstairs to start doing vertical play, as we see play in the basement. I'm so excited to see Meat pushing down to try and find Menti. Oh my goodness, we're going to have a firefight in the basement. This never happens. Oh no, is he going to see him? Yep, he saw the head. He saw the head twice. Oh no. He keeps seeing the body walk back and forth of Menti, and then he rotates back upstairs. Meatball, there's a chance that he had there. As JN takes out Universe and Lyra takes out JA, and we now suddenly have a rather empty site once that once the downstairs wall got blown open. And now War Hazard comes around taking out Santa. We're now on a 4v3 with everybody at full health who's left except for Menti, who has a sliver off and nearly had a chance to take Meep's head clean off here.
Meep taking a lot of damage. That's from the Buck who hopped in electrical. Is actually JN is going to sit him down. Finish the kill. That's a Lyra putting the diffuser down. It will go down. A Nitro comes out but doesn't quite find it. His mod finds one but not even trying. It finds JN. It's now just 2 not even trying as he lights the Habana up and she retreats into electrical. Shotgun in hand, tries to swing it, but Lyra is watching it and finds the headshot. Sits him down. A really nice push from Florida International there, just taking that pantry, and it didn't look like the defense was really holding it all too tight. I don't think they were ready for that pantry push.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it was a very, very weird push. We saw it play in the basement. I'm surprised that the Sledge didn't take action on the Mozzie that he saw multiple times that was also drawn out, but fortunately that didn't end up being detrimental to the round. And among other things, it was a rather loose defense. They had the guy playing downstairs. He managed to rotate the Jaeger in Universe, managed to rotate back upstairs, but it just ends up not being the right defense that they were looking for. They nearly had it, and then as soon as they managed to push into from that little stock room next to kitchen, or pantry next to kitchen, and once that wall was open, the whole site just opened up and they just blew apart that defense. As we see variety today from the attacker side, we have a Gridlock and a Zofia, which is exciting to see as we get to see some of the newer or more stock operators aside from that plain set of 5 that we saw earlier.
Yeah, Siege is kind of bringing about a new meta where you're seeing a lot of these different operators played. You're not sticking to the same 5 operators for every single attack or every single defense. You kind of have to switch it up if you want to take it properly, or at least mostly for the defense. It applies to the attack too. But just a really good adaptation from Florida International, taking off that Nomad to the Gridlock, just trying to see if this flank denial will be more effective against New Jersey, as they've kind of just been walking through all of their flank denial and not worrying about it, but pushing through it and getting flanks off when they really shouldn't be able to. Florida International probably going to have to actually dedicate someone to watch that on gun, but it's looking like Meep's going to be on the roam. I'm not sure if he fully went down. He's going to be holding Astro stairs. He's going to try to slow Florida's push from bedroom. Again, a good read from New Jersey, realizing that, hey, Florida just pushes from the opposite side of the map every single time. Let me go over there and try to slow them down a little bit. He will be spotted out on the drone, so they know he's there. And he's just going to back off, as Modded is very, very close on that drone's tail.
Yeah, and now we have someone modded just holding Astro Stairs. Two people holding Astro Stairs as our good friend Meep rolls around the backside, and we now have a Claymore setting up on those stairs with just a quick fire, pre-fire down there. They are now pushing towards the site. And a couple tries, takes a few times to hit that Mozzie. Funky hitboxes doing funky things. And as the IQ is doing her job and taking out all the utility. And it looks like Santa is getting lit up a little bit while trying to clear the ADSs as well as the deployable shield.
There are those magnets being utilized very well. Zofia trying to take care of that deployable shield on that map's doorway, but the magnet was able to catch it and move that projectile out the way. And well, Mike gets more of those as the round goes on, so he's just going to be placing them down to keep that deployable shield there to hold that. Meanwhile, Meep still underneath Astro stairs. You can see he's broken all of the tracks there, and he's slowly pushed up Astro stairs. There is still a Claymore up top, but it's actually going to be Universe to find the opening pick onto Gridlock, who had pushed into Study, or she's outside Study balcony window there. A nice pick, but Meep's fully pushed up, and of course Santa is watching that flank because there was so much to destroy. Probably heard the flank coming out. Some more utility being drained to try to get this deployable shield gone, but Wamai just keeps tossing his magnets to protect it, just slowing the push down. And the attackers are going to have to try to do something here because they just seem to have lost all momentum.
Yeah, and I believe that was the first instance of a Wamai visually seeing the Wamai take action in our game today, as Santa now is doing a quick rotate, as Modded finds not even trying the Wamai from behind there as someone gets smoked out in War Hazard, probably the smoke, managing to get JN in a very, very tight fight here with just a sliver of health coming in. Now we're in a 3v3 with 25 seconds left and a smoke left with just a little bit of help. Let's hope he gets that grenade off before he ends up being taken out here. As it looks like if someone just hiding up there involves War Hazard with the shotgun takes out Lyrid, and Modded takes out War Hazard. Now we're in a 2v2 with the sliver health, 10 seconds left. Let's see if we can find the person behind the bar, and yes, he does. Modded with the triple kill. Let's see if Modded can get the 4 pieces. They still gonna have to rotate to get the plan. Diffuser's not on site! Oh no, and they don't have time to get the... Oh, that's really unfortunate that the diffuser was not on site and they were unable to run back in. The barbed wire doing its job.
So Smoke playing on bar got the frag onto Hibana with his shotgun, who was playing 90 corner.
You only need one pellet to get the headshot.
No, pellets from shotguns don't count as one-shot headshot. She must have been super lit up from previous encounters or something, but I mean, it was it could have been the Mute though too. Mute also has that SAS shoddy. I could just there's no way it was the Smoke. I was mind blown if that actually hit. It was probably the Mute playing a little bit closer there. It would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, because Mute I believe was playing. Yeah, Mute I believe was playing in Vault right after it blew open. So I think he got the single shot down and or kill on the Hibana after it opened, and then he just rotated side from there.
Okay, good, because I thought Smoke hit that shot and I was about to lose all faith in this game. But no, I just missed the Mute playing closer. So New Jersey, just winning Aviator is going to go back to Trophy Statue here. And after that first round, the only other round they've lost is Dining Kitchen, which is considered a tertiary site here. First time they went Trophy and Statuary, they did win it out, so this is probably looking like a pretty good half for New Jersey here. You see the IQ trying to put some, not the IQ, the Valkyrie putting some sneaky cams into Master Bedroom, but of course on the flip side, there is an IQ coming out from Mod on Florida International side to really just make quick work of those Evil Eyes as long as she checks her electronic scanner there. And again, another roam from Not Even Trying. We're going to have to see if Florida can shut this down with a gridlock. It worked a lot better for him last time. Being able to shut down Meep as he pushed in from Astro. And again, it's looking like Florida International is going to be pushing from study side, and well, not even trying, knows that, and he's already rotated close under main stairs.
I call that good on
Attackers have located a bomb.
New Jersey here, just to recognize the habits of Florida International and being able to quickly adapt their roaming patterns to that. As we see the mute doing mute's job and preventing drones from coming in, as we see someone still in spawn running back in, being on the drone, just looking, says now you don't get kicked off your cam at the start of round anymore, which is a very nice quality of life change. As we see some drones checking red stairs inside the chandelier, it looks like that drone got it, and the IQ managed to find that drone. We still see the Jaeger downstairs with the gridlock being thrown out on those red stairs on the backside of 90, which is going to slow the Jaeger's approach.
Yeah, you noted the good adaptation coming from New Jersey, but it's just both teams adapting very well to the other team's play style. And I think that's one of the major things that separates good teams from not so good teams in Siege is the ability to adapt and overcome, realize where your opponent's weaknesses are, and to apply pressure onto them. And, well, definitely a good read from New Jersey. The Nitro from below comes out.
That wasn't below, that was in...
done.
Yeah, in
Wait,
this
was
case, it was... yeah, see, it was over
No, it
there in
wasn't.
Statuary.
Yeah, it was from Trophy. Just a really good throw from the mute. Is not even trying. Tries to flank up, but not before Buck finds the frag onto Meat. That's the Valkyrie gone. But not even trying. Does find the refrag onto, I believe that was the Buck, sitting him down. And Meso's still in Astro as he sits down Lyrid, who's pushing bathroom without any intel, probably due to the mute sitting in the Astro doorway there. Really good use of the utility, and it's now down to just Menti and Mod. Looking on the drones here, looking like Statue is a free take. There's that Evil Eye watching them as they see the Bandit on bomb, who tries to swing, but IQ sits him down, and the Evil Eye gets taken out as well as Menti swings into Trophy. A nice split push, finds Warhammer, but Maestro will sit gridlock down, and it's now just down to Mod. Nice 2-pick, but it was traded off as Universe. The Madman with the Alda swings into Statue and sits Mod down as well. Just being able to just hold left click and get that nice pre-fire on. Really nice shot and good hold from Universe there.
Yeah, that was a good three-piece from Universe as we switched the half. That was a good half for New Jersey. Very traditional 4-2 on the defensive side of map. And I do find it interesting that they weren't able to join out the Maestro. And that they did check behind the box, as you saw from the approach from bathroom, or from the desk, but they did not check behind the box. And the Maestro popped out while the Sophia was looking the wrong way. As we get to see Goyo. Yes, a lot more excitement. All the new operators. We see Womaya, Goyo, Jaeger, Maestro, Bandit on the defensive side, and we're bringing out all the stops here, at least in variety anyway, which I like to see.
Yeah, this is probably the most diverse lineups I've seen from casting a game. And again, it just comes back to the fluidity of the teams and being able to adapt and take the operators they need. And saying so, the 6-pick from Universe from the Nomad onto the Cali. We need a count of how many different operators we've seen tonight, because I'm pretty sure it's a record.
Yeah, I think we're doing pretty hot today on different operators. I think the only other... I don't think we're missing any of the defensive sided ones that aren't banned. So I think we're doing a pretty hot job today. And on the attacker side, again, we're not missing any of the ones that aren't banned. So I think we're doing pretty good here in this particular case. As we're setting up this time not going game room, but instead going statuary and astronomy, which is definitely usually the second site, but they're setting up somewhat in the game's map room just to bring airs of being over there.
This is a very spread out hold coming out from Florida International, having 2-3 people as they rotate back on site, but also holding Aviator Games, just being very spread out. It could work in either direction. It just depends if New Jersey can spot this out. The Velcam and Study is definitely going to be a big help. Actually, a really nice angle from the Cali here, stepping up on the wall, looking through the tree, just holding that Study door, making sure no one peeks. But luckily the defense has a black eye in Study, so they don't need to peek. They can just wait until they push in and swing on that intel. But again, the defense bringing this dreaded Goyo Jaeger Womai combo, and just being the utility drain that it is, the attack is going to have to try to get to site as soon as they can, because even when they get to site, they have to deal with those Goyo shields that are going to be protected by those ADSs and those magnets, so it's going to be a lot of utility drain. But Meep actually coming up from main stairs, just trying to put a little bit of split pressure instead of just pushing Study. gonna try to be getting this Valkyrie and this Wamai rooted out of here. Is you hear the Hibana pellets going on to one of the study walls. I'm not sure if that was into bar or into aviator. And Meep's gonna swing into games there and find the pick onto the Wamai. As well, Jaeger answers back and finds the pick onto Ash as he actually starts to retake towards 90.
Yeah, that was a very good refrag. They're still playing relatively tight. Mod hasn't moved in this particular case. And the entry fragger was taken out, so we still have Kali. So we'll see how that actually ends up playing out and seeing if that has any particular utility, as they still haven't rooted out the Valkyrie. And good job for not even trying to take out Santa on 90. And it looks like we're going to see the Valkyrie quickly rooted out here. They're rooted out or taking one with her again. As firing into Vault, we see not even trying here. And not even trying also managed to get modded here, getting a 2-piece here. Now we're in a 2v4 on this defense here, with all the big guns left, both the Vector, which is very powerful, and the Alda.
And the longest universe finds a nice headshot on to Menti on the Maestro, taking the Alda off the board. So now just to the Vector, which has a very high fire rate, but unfortunately not a lot of mag capacity. And it doesn't matter because Kelly's gun one-shot body shots. That's all it takes down that Goyo and win the round out. That was a really I was kind of worried for Florida for New Jersey on the attack there, just kind of not getting to sight until a minute left, but just quick on the guns, being able to take out the last two defenders, just kind of mopped it up nice and clean really quickly.
Are we going to take count of the number of Kali kills, I guess? Is that the last thing we expected to see today?
We're up to 2.
We're currently at 2. We're up to 2. Put that on the chalkboard. And now we see...
Do you have a chalkboard?
I have close enough. I have a whiteboard because the chalkboard doesn't allow.
I only have a whiteboard too. We can. I'll keep a tally. Okay. What's going on? All right. 2 kills on the board for Kali already. No new ops coming out this round. Unfortunately, we're gonna be stuck to those we've seen already, which isn't a bad thing. New Jersey making great work of it, not actually taking the Kali this time. As Florida International is going to be going to Aviator Games, and again looking like they're setting up a very split hold as they go over to reinforce the triple wall from Master.
I think this is an interesting take on Villa, and I can definitely see why they chose this map. They have a very unique way to hold their specific sites, as this is something wildly different that I haven't even seen before, and I'm very excited to see how this ends up panning out. The first one maybe just be them getting used to it, and especially the Kali being an actual 6-pick and being really creative here, and the double Wamai here is pulling the grenades out of the way, as we saw that being rather effective the last time on that hold, holding Florida International at bay here on their attacker side here.
Yeah, both of these teams looking like they're pretty well versed on the attacks here, making pretty quick work at getting at least up to the building and on those drones to really take advantage of it. We see the drones coming out. It's looking like New Jersey is going to be going for a full study push, something we didn't see Florida do. They always took from the opposite side of the map over. But it's looking like New Jersey is going to be a bit more comfortable just pushing study. And actually, the iron sights coming out from the Nomad, it's something you don't see all too often except for on Bandit, and it doesn't actually look all too bad. I might have to try those out myself.
Yeah, the German iron sights are well known to be the best iron sights, but these iron sights actually aren't that bad. We see Meep already up the red stairs, taking control of that side, as now we're blowing up the Maestro cam on 90 corner. So now they have relative control of both red stairs and that 90 hallway, and it looks like most people are compacted on site except for the one defender who is currently downstairs.
Yeah, about halfway of the round gone already, and it doesn't look like there's been much taken. As I say that, it looks like that's a Maverick swinging into Nivy, pushing Game's door quite aggressively here as he takes a peek onto Bar. Doesn't quite find anything, but watching the flank sits Santa on the Jaeger down. Beautiful shot coming out, but he actually gets drone hold from JN on the Wamai as Lyrid finds another one with that Alda, taking Maverick and Ash off the board. leaving it down to a 3v4. The attackers are going to have to try to do something. They can't get those study walls open because they are electrified thanks to that bandit, and they didn't decide to bring the Kali this time. And they're just going to have to take gunfights, and Universe winning his gunfight against Mod. It's going to take the bandit off, evening the odds just a little bit, but the clock keeps ticking. This War Hazard finds another one onto Jan. That's the Womagon, but Lyrid making good use of that Ulda. Unfortunately, you can't really make use of it if you are completely blind. As the flashes come out, he's still just holding behind Bar, though. It's a really good position to be in, and Smoke's still on the board. He's going to start smoking the game's door off, choking the attackers, but it doesn't matter. Lyrid's going to find another. I think that's a triple for Lyrid so far. And now down just to Universe. With those AK iron sights, can he do it? He can't quite find the Maestros. He's going to be shooting back and forth, and a quick peek from Lyrid. And be a quad from Lyrid. A really nice hold with that Ulda.
I do find it mildly interesting that he chose to reload when he still had half his mag left. But that's just one of those things that I guess everyone has their thing, since that was a reasonable assumption that they wouldn't push. Or they knew both were on that side, the Nomad. So after killing the Ash, I believe, he was reasonably protected to be able to reload to get the full mag on that defense. So now we're 3-5 with 11 kills on Universe. Holy cow, already up into the double digits. And there's still and AJ seems to be, or JA, I apologize, seems to be playing the support role today. And on the other side, it looks like we have a 9-6 and relatively evenly spread across the board, with Santa mostly playing the support, it seems, while playing the Jaeger. And now we move into Trophy Statuary again. And now we see a Mozzie Bandit, Goyo Jaeger, Maestro, and then an Ash Habana, Nomad, Maverick, and Sledge. The thing that was there on doing the last hype happened to be the one-tap potential from the Kali, which I don't believe we'll see this time.
Defenders protect your balance from
and now we're moving into amusing things coming down the pipeline here, as we now are moving into our 9th round in our first map out of 3. And now nothing particular. Doing the large split hold again. We'll see Bandit actually banditing the wall quite possibly over in map room, and we'll see if that actually stands to be the case. As it looks like we have one reinforcement on the wrong side for the bandit trick. We'll see if that actually ends up becoming a problem.
Which wall was that? I didn't quite catch it. I was just putting my mic arm back up. Is it the triple wall? Because yeah, it's on the other side. So I know that it's useful for impact tricking if you decide to do that. Because the attackers can actually break the soft wall layer, like the 2 walls on the right there. If they were to break the soft wall layer from the master side, they could actually place either the Kairos or an exothermic charge kind of set into the wall, and the impact is going to have a harder time finding it, but the wall above those reinforcements isn't open, so I don't believe the defense will be trying to impact trick those. And they do have the bandit on the board, so they can always just use those electrical batteries to deny it. It actually looks like they're all going to be going in Aviator games. JN is going to be being shot. That's from the rappel outside 90. Some beautiful pings and some beautiful angles coming out from Florida from New Jersey there. Just trying to get these roamers on their toes and get them to move around just a little bit. It's like I'm trying to push through study. JN punishing them.
We're great at talking at the same time as JN manages to get Meep here on the push here, as we have in the 90 hallways. It looks like they're doing 3 people up on that side, or at least 2. Yeah, 3 people. We have 2 outside, and then 1 on the balcony, and Nomad trying to do the push, and still on the iron side. They're doing a very good job on their hold, but JN on some very low health on the red stairs here.
See, I thought we were going for the thing where I say one word, you say one word, and we just go back, but it's okay if you weren't on the same wavelength.
It's all right. It's all right, as we see the Nomad try to tag the JN again, escaping with his life for the 2nd time in a row.
Mod, though, taking a quick swing into 90, just trying to slow the attack down as much as he can, as the roamers have fallen back. So they will have pretty much full presence of these top red stairs and this 90 hallway, just trying to slow them down ever so much more before they get to these Goyo shields, which will do an even better job at that as long as they're placed correctly. Meti holding right behind the statue here could be the downfall for University, as Universe actually finds a frag on a JN by utilizing that frag grenade to blow that Goyo shield, but Menti
Attackers
still
have
holding
dropped
close to that
the bomb
statue, gets a
Attackers have
two-piece
located a
as he
bomb.
holds left click and swings,
Attackers
but not even
recovered the
trying.
bomb
Tries to bring it
diffuser.
back, finds the frag onto the Santa, but Leard shuts, not even trying down, leaving it just to JA. He does have 2 frag grenades in his pocket, so he could find 2. Doesn't find anyone with the first one. Menti is very low. That's also a really big plus for JA. But with 30 seconds, it's not looking too well as he's going to have to push. No drones left. Still only the nade in his pocket. He's going to have to try to do something as the clock just keeps on ticking down. Second frag grenade comes out but catches a doorway and bounces back at him and actually slows his push down ever so
10
much
seconds
more.
left.
Hear the explosion of the Goyo shield's going off, just making sure he can't push in. He's going to find the pick onto the Goyo. He's got diffuser in his pocket, but a nice crossfire set up from Florida there to sit him down.
How large are his pockets? He's holding 2 frag grenades, a whole diffuser, maybe a gun or 5. Like, how large do you think they have to be on that SAF?
Where do they actually hold all of their gadgets? Like, where do the defenders hold their reinforcements?
Well, that's a talk for another day with
Okay.
a more polite company, I would say.
Agreed.
Because, I mean, where else would it go? So in this particular case, we're going to see, we're now back to a 4-5. So this is a lot closer than it first seemed at the split, especially with New Jersey taking the first round. And now we see 10-7, and the points leader happens to be not even trying. On the Maverick, get a Lion today. Yes, add 1 to the marker of the number of people who have been at least selected, though not necessarily played.
Yeah, there's a 6 in the
it's
Cali.
a Kelly. Oh boy,
We're gonna be able to tally up some more kills. Hopefully, we're up to 2 so far, and this is a best of 3 round tonight. So we could be going. This is only our first map, so we still at least have 1 more and potentially a 3rd. So this could be like a Cali kill record coming out tonight. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we
Attackers
have
need to
any
locate
other
and defuse
recorded
as many
numbers, so
bombs
it'll
as they
obviously
can.
be the record of kills on this stream, which is going to be a fine time for that man. And in this particular case here, we're going downstairs as the standard tertiary site here, over in kitchen and dining. As it looks like they're going to do a harder upstairs hold, which is very, very traditional here as Monty is getting his reinforcements from the 3-part wall bedroom.
Yeah, again, just the roaming, the reinforcements to assist the roamers from Florida is obviously working out in their favor. So far, winning 2 out of their 3 defensive
10
rounds.
seconds to go.
Looking to complete the perfect site rotation to try to win
5
dining
seconds left.
and kitchen out. If they do that, then they're back to Aviator and then the
Attackers are
trophy,
heading
and
out to the
it should be looking pretty good. But it's still looking like a nice close match, as obviously the scoreline is showing, as the more reinforcements just keep going up top. Florida International rocking that Goyo again, making good use of it last round, slowing the attack down, actually rocking the suppressed Vector as well. I personally use the TCSG, but I know the Vector is a really solid weapon, just a massive fire rate there, just being able to sit a lot of opponents down, being able to find that headshot, as Siege is such... the game revolves around headshots, but it looks like the attack is looking for a laundry push here as the drones are coming out. Meep's pushing close on the drones, and they have the Cali and the Habana to open up that laundry wall if they do decide to. Yeah,
the thing that baffles me the most here is just the sheer existence of the silence vector. I don't know what that does. In particular, we see the white peak here and the missed shot. The Cali getting punished for having not having more than 1 bullet, which is how Cali works on first.
I was ready with the tally. I still am. His universe is peeking in towards sight, bringing out that lance there to destroy that shield. Fortunately, it isn't a Goyo shield, so Smoke's still going to be allowed to play on that table. He's not going to be flamed out quite yet. As Goyo swings from kitchen, and Cali is going to find the hit onto the arm. She hit Smoke's arm as well. Her gun is a 1-shot down to the body. If she hits a limb, it does about 75 damage, depending on the armor level. That's why Smoke and Goyo are so very low. Nitro comes out over the board and with only 1 round tries to hit it non-ADS, but we all know how shooting non-ADS in Siege goes. And that's a beautiful Nitro from Mod. Very clean. Unfortunately, we won't be getting any more tallies to the Cali kill.
And we're getting some nice solid alliterations here. Turns out, when you try to no-scope a sniper rifle, it usually doesn't turn out well. And JA managed to get modded here, and it looks like we got the down here. Those 2 shots doing work here, getting some 2 cleaner, fairly easy kills here. It looks like they're starting to push on the site here as JN takes out War Hazard. Not even trying, takes out Santa, and JN gets Meep, and not even trying, takes another one. People just trading shots here, and it's all the same people too. Now we're in a 2v1 here. Lyrid, the last sole survivor holding down the fort here, as only one person currently is actually on site here in Maverick.
Interesting to see the double kill trades from not even trying and JN. Unfortunately, not even trying, just coming out a little bit above JN and sits him down. The nades come out. Sledge does have diffuser. He's going to be planning on that table, but luckily, the 2v1 not even trying is on gun. But Lears is going to sit him down, and the diffuser does go down. So JA is back on his gun. He's going to play back far from pantry with his L85 ACOG in his hand. Oh, Lear's going to swing and find the down and finish it out. And he's going to get the diffuser, bringing it back to an even 5v5 scoreline. And that's the perfect site rotation completed for Florida International. They got to be sitting pretty at the end of that one.
Especially knowing that he was being pinged in that particular case. That was an incredibly impressive gunfight that Lyrid managed to win, because they knew he was there, and he just managed to get it done. That was a very, very, very solid clutch in that particular case.
Yeah, you can really see just in that specific scenario why Intel is king in Siege. Just being able to tell exactly where people are is so huge. Being able to pre-fire that. Meep showing the Jackal at first and picking onto the Ash is making me kind of wonder if he's gonna 6 onto the Jackal, adding a counter to the different ops we've seen tonight. Not locking it in, but not picking. I don't think me. Oh! I called it. There we go. Unfortunately I don't have that one tallied up, but that's like what 12. No, this got to be more than 12 at this point.
I think we've technically seen like 20 to 25 different operators, because it's at least
I'm happy
10.
With that, yeah.
Yeah, and now that was, yeah, and it's one of those things where there was an interesting strategy that Florida International took, where they went for the utility denial instead of the information denial, and that happened working out. Where just the existence of Legion and some other things just managed to put them in the perfect situation, and a final gunfight managing to clean that up, and just being the better gun person in that particular case. Now we're going back to gaming here. Gaming and maps, as we see the mute shotgunning below the
study walls.
Yeah, assumingly to shoot the pellets, I guess, if you're holding downstairs in that little atrium, which is a very interesting idea as to where the mute will be playing. That's a little ballsy to be standing right in the middle of the hallway that can be seen from the main door, but we'll see how that turns out. And they actually end up doing some really interesting things.
Yeah, kind of a nice adaptation from Florida International, just opening below those walls to break any pellets or even lances if New Jersey decided to bring the Cali off of that outside wall, considering they're only rocking the mute for denial, so they're really probably going to be relying on the fact to have someone downstairs to shoot off anything that gets placed on those walls. It's not something you see very much, but the Jackal track's already coming out onto the Valkyrie, as she's going to be running for her life. She's going to rotate all the way back around towards Astro, I believe, is where she's headed. No, she's going to go up red stairs and get back onto site. And Jackal's really good at pushing out roamers without even having to push them. Just like a single track goes out, and most of the time the defender will retreat back to site just to be safe. A really smart pick coming out from New Jersey, taking that Jackal. Definitely showing that they're not afraid to try some new operators.
Yeah, and there is an interesting note here that there is the point here as we see a gunfight here in 90 between not even trying and I believe the Alda of Lyrid. Oh. And a T4 going out. Let's see if he manages to get one. And no. Did it light up the Jackal? Yeah, Jackal at 50 there. So at least a reasonable C4 as we see the impact trick walls, as we mentioned before. Those reinforcements, you know, we see multiple people down 90 hallway. Gonna see if they can push out the Maverick here as Valkyrie manages to get the Maverick in. Modded and not even trying. Now it's a 5v4 with nobody even protecting 90 hallway. Now it's that wall is getting opened here into map.
Yeah, unfortunately the holes below, I don't know if, yeah, Meat's back on site, so not being played. probably due to the fact that Jackal just rooted him out. But Menti here, being a rudimentary frost trap prone on the floor, is going to be holding that shotgun for someone to push close. But Mod, with a Nitro over the wall, the second Nitro will finally find a frag onto War Hazard. And that's the Hibana off the board. There is a little peek hole through that Aviator study wall there, but unfortunately you can't go through it, so the attackers are going to be choked through that study doorway, and Velk's holding close as well as Mute. They have two defenders there they have to push through as Jackal goes down. I'm not quite sure where from, if that was a swing from Aviator. It was probably from that pool table. Yeah, Maestro through the pool table, through the wall between sites, through the Hibana hole. Capitao using his asphyxiation balls, trying to get any type of push as he finds a pick onto JN, but tries to swing and Lear sits him down, and it's all down to JA. 10 seconds left. Meat still holding close with that shotgun, trying to pick the Jackal up, but with 3 seconds left, I don't think it's gonna happen. Meat's still there with a shotgun, finds the down, and yeah, that's gonna be the timer to hit 0, and a 4th round in a row for Florida International.
Yeah, and that's a triple kill there for Modded. I don't know where the first one came out from, but we got a good C4 throw and just a shotgun standing there in the doorway, which is the very other extremely powerful move for a Mute or anyone with the SAS shotgun SMG combo. Yeah, it looks like Florida International is turning this one around. You can see why it's their map, as their defender side seems to be very, very strong. At least appearing strong for a wide variety of strats, among other things. And it's just a very unique way to play this map that I haven't seen much of.
Yeah, New Jersey's going to have to do something to turn this around, as this is playoffs. We do actually have overtime if New Jersey wins this round out. It's best of 3 overtime. So they really need to take this round and then keep that momentum going, which we've seen New Jersey do. They've won 2 rounds in a row and then 3 in a row. But then Florida just completely stealing the momentum from them, winning 4 in a row, looking for 5 to close this game out. As they're going back to trophy statuary, bringing out that Goyle again, just making beautiful use of those Vulcan shields, just buying that time down.
Need to locate and defuse as many
they were actually used against them. So you saw the frag before detonating the shield and actually killing one of the defenders. But it's one of the downsides to the Vulcan shield. Every operator needs them. But again, Florida International looking for this split roam here as the reinforcements go down AVG again. And Mozzie playing those top main stairs looking for drones. It's actually looking like New Jersey is going to be trying for an east to west push, as the majority of their drones are on the east side. And, well, since the new update, drones spawn whichever side of the map you're spawning on. You can always switch your spawns, so I could just be lying to you, but that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense if you decide not to be on it, but however, Siege is Siege, and half the time nothing particularly makes sense in any reasonable fashion. So now we see Mozzie collecting his pest to put it in a more advantageous position, as that was just to catch drones that may have been going in that hallway. As we do see the east to west push with a silence something. It looks like Goyo might be playing with a very hefty silence gun there. I'm not entirely sure. No, it isn't Goyo. But that was a large silence gun. Might be the Maverick. As we see a very standard push onto the first floor and second floor here. A little bit more direct than what we had seen before.
Yeah, the attack here coming out from New Jersey is looking pretty split here. We see some people outside study balcony, some outside master balcony. I don't think New Jersey quite knows where they want to push quite yet. The drone's coming out, just trying to figure that out, trying to figure out where they want to dedicate their push to. But again, it's just so split, and the defense is so split that it's kind of hard to try to get a foothold here. It's not even trying. It's actually swung into 90 already, and I don't think he knows this, but he's completely bisecting a lot of the defense, and it doesn't even matter as Menti finds the pick with the headshot from the Alda. Menti looking like an absolute menace with that Alda. That quick pick. Maverick off the board is not looking very good for New Jersey. Not only is it Maverick, it's also some frag grenades, and it's actually your only set of frag grenades. And frag grenades are probably the best secondary gadget to have, and without those, it could really hurt him, especially with the Evil Eyes on the board. But we're just going to have to see what New Jersey does to try to take this round back. They're going to be trying to push into Master, try to get that Master wall open, but the holes above the wall looks like they might be impact tricking. No, they don't have any impacts. They're going to be throwing nitros over there instead. The wall is going to be open, and that's going to be a lot of sight lines opened up for New Jersey.
And it looks like a lot of really tight angles being held here. A lot of really tight angles being held here, whether by the mute or by the IQ. We have 50 seconds left in the round here. Let's see how wild this gets as Meep manages to get modded, and now we're in Universe getting Lyrid here. It looks like this defense here is falling apart just a little bit here. With 40 seconds left, we're in a 2v4 with the proning Alda trying to save the day.
Yeah, the Maestro and the Mozzie, not the two best ops to deny it. Maestro definitely has those Evil Eyes, which can shock people, but Meep's just going to sit him down regardless. It's not just a JN. He does have that Nitro in his pocket, but New Jersey showing that they're not out of this round yet as Meep steps it up. I believe that was a triple, maybe even a quad kill coming out from Meep to keep New Jersey in the fight here as we get to see overtime.
Overtime, baby. Yes, and that was a triple kill, as the nice banner said for Meep. And now we are into the fun times with Aviator Game Series. I believe this may be, I don't know if we're the first playoff match to be aired.
We're the first. We totally are.
We 100% are the first. There is no question, and we obviously can't be wrong.
110%. This is the first overtime round this playoffs has ever seen. Definitely do not quote me on that because I don't know what I'm saying, but we definitely are.
We're the first one on a Thursday.
We're the first one on the Thursday at 9:37 exactly.
Yes.
So,
however, to clarify, the last game did go the full distance, literally 3 rounds, 3 overtimes, or 3 maps, 3 overtimes, and the whole 9 yards here. As we see an Aviator Games defense with a Legion 6-pick onto Mozzie, which is actually the opposite of what New Jersey did on their defensive half, which is a rather interesting choice that they decided to swap at the last second. And then Wamai doing Wamai thing. So they are playing the Mute Mozzie combo with Bandit, Jaeger, and Wamai, so no actual bona fide heavy operators or ACOG, which is an interesting choice.
Yeah, Siege kind of evolving into just like a run, gun, and swing fest. Definitely opting away towards those 3 armors. Their wind deltas being a little bit slightly lower than their 3-speed counterparts, but it definitely doesn't mean you win a round just because you run all 3 armors or all 3 speeds. It's a balance. Siege is definitely it's obviously tactical game. I forgot tactical. How do you forget tactical casting Siege? Siege is just, it revolves around tactics and taking specific things, and it's all about adapting, as both of these teams have shown to do very well, but as we know, these games can go on very long, and it's just whichever team can keep their steam going and keep that momentum rolling. Fortunately, New Jersey taking a round off of Florida before overtime, just trying to stop their momentum, going to be doing a full north to south push rather from master bedroom, as we've seen Florida do time and time again.
And it looks like we actually saw a commandeer drone, which is kind of cool. That doesn't normally happen that often. And we saw the viewpoint with the special vision that the Mozzie gives to the GOT drone here, as IQ is slowly pushing statuary.
Mozzie's actually got a couple drones going here. One on red stairs and one kind of towards top main. Kind of showing that Florida's been a little bit uncautious with their drones, just feeding him to Mozzie, and now he's turned him against him. They're pushing towards site 2 minutes on the clock, a minute of the round gone, and they're already starting to push site. They definitely have some good momentum going. They have a lot of time to work with. Try to get this vault wall open, or any wall that they choose to do. Have 3 X-Kairos charges, so they can open up 3 different spots, either a walk hole and a peek hole, or, whatever they want to do with it. Universe is still playing main stairs here. Florida just trying to get this vault wall open as we see the nades come out. Flashes to drain anything on the other side of the wall. The nade's going to go up and over and take care of that mute jammer. And those are the X-Kairos going down on that wall. Going to get that open, but they still have to deal with Universe here playing top main. He can swing into 90 Hall at any time he wants to. And unfortunately, Florida International isn't going to be quite playing in the hallway yet. They're still just trying to get that vault wall open. See a split push coming out as Menti on the gridlock is on study balcony. Going to be trying to get a little bit of that split pressure, but the clock keeps ticking down, and it's actually going to be Lyrid who finds the first frag onto not even trying, but JA swings that open vault wall, finds another. Bamon's going to sit him down as he tries to find another peek in towards 90. It's going to be Meep who finds him by top main. It's just a nice trade fest back and forth from both of these teams, leaving it to an even 3v3, or even 5v5, but the 30 seconds left, the attackers are going to have to try to do something here.
Yeah, 30 seconds left, and they managed to pick up the diffuser as New Jersey noted that the diffuser was down. Now they got to do one crazy fast push. We're 20 seconds left in the clock. Buck is moving in. Universe manages to get Menti here with the diffuser down. And I believe the planter has not been down. Now we're in a 2v2 here between Santa, JN, Warhazard, and Universe. Oh, and Meep manages to get him back up. And he's on such low health here, losing the gunfight to JN with 30 seconds left in the diffuser here. And this is a really, really tight match. As we see another look in as JN manages to get the double. Let's see if he can get the triple here. Because now we got the guy trying to do the defuse with 19 seconds, which means he has the shot to do the fake defuse. As two people are now moving in. Santa trying to get the angle here. And he can here as he is unable to clear out Santa. And Santa getting me here. Florida International winning the round. That got incredibly tight there at the end, but just some unfortunate gunfights there as we saw the bandit in the vault, the recoil, just throw in the gun right over the head.
Yeah, Florida International really taking their time, being very meticulous on what they drone and what they take. Obviously translated into a very nice post-plant situation where they won it out. And yeah, they weren't too aggressive, but again, Siege is a game of tactics, just being careful on what you take and figuring out what you need to get that plant down. Having the gridlock flank, yeah, she died and didn't really, you wouldn't think she did much from study, but she occupied that Jaeger so the diffuser could go down, and that's probably actually one of the main reasons that Florida won that round out, was because they had that very small but very pertinent split presence. As we go back, Florida going to be defending, only needs one more round to win their own map out, but New Jersey is still fighting for it. They could win these next two, this attack and then their defense, to steal Florida's map from out from under them. Back to Aviator Games. In Florida, with their kind of funky holds here with a very spread out defense, has been proven difficult for New Jersey to take.
Yeah, we also did see the 6 pick from Goyo onto the Mozzie, I believe. It's either Mozzie or Mute, but still, it generated that Mute-Mozzie combo that wasn't originally presented, and that may or may not be a problem as we see no IQ coming out from New Jersey. So we'll see exactly how that impacts around as we see their spread out defense being leveraged again with their more easily impactable walls also being shown as well.
Yeah, I believe that was actually a trick coming out from Florida, because the first defense they went trophy statue, and whenever they go trophy statue, they bring the Goyo. So that's Florida trying to get into New Jersey's head and try to convey that they're going statue, when in reality they're going Aviator Games to try to shake up New Jersey's roster here. But it doesn't look like it's shaken all too much. Still have very good ops at taking this site with 6 grenades at their disposal. One going out already to try to take out that mute jammer that they thought was on Study Doorway, but unfortunately it wasn't, and that's going to be a nade down the drain. Is Mozzie finds a drone again early into the round, converting that drone from the attackers to the defenders, which is huge. Just having that little bit of extra intel. Fortunately, New Jersey does have the needs to spare. 5 still on the board, so they have plenty to deal with whatever bandit or trick or evil eyes come their way.
Yeah, now we're with 2 minutes left in the round. It looks like they are now currently moving forward into study to see if they can get those walls open, as Buck is now bucking above the reinforcement to see if he might be able to get a frag grenade through there, as it looks definitely doable. It just depends as to where the Jaeger devices happen to be. As we see both 2 drones there sitting on the door, one of them fake, one of them real, in terms of the defender side here, and we get Maestro downed early from a well-timed frag here. Let's see if Maestro can crawl away to victory. And Flashbang's coming out here and trying to do the fast push here to see if they can manage to nail the Maestro.
Yeah, points are not on, so Universe doesn't actually know he downed the Maestro there. If the attackers decide to look through that breach hole, they will see that trail of blood that Maestro leaves on the floor from crawling away, and at least know he's at 20 HP. They know he's still alive, but very low, and we've seen that Alda do really great work before. And actually, Universe is just going to crouch walk into bar. Jan's going to find a frag on a not even trying. That's the map gone. But Universe has presence in games as Meep swings in and shoots through the wall to finish off Lyrid, putting great use to that down that was earlier. And again, we see the Menti on the mute, holding that tight door, prone with a shotgun. Mod is going to get tracked, but he's going to swing on the bar and find a quick 2 on the Universe and Meep. JA trying to answer back, finds a frag onto Menti, the mute prone, but the diffuser goes down and Jan finds a nitro pick. It's not down just to JA in a post-plant situation, but a nice pinch from Florida International there. That's a tough retake there. 1v3 wasn't too bad, and well, that's Florida's map for Florida.
I imagine that was significantly tighter than Florida expected by a lot. And definitely credits to New Jersey to pull it out that far, considering it was Florida's map. And Florida doing one bang-up job just to be able to clean up that round when it seemed that it may have ended early with the Maestro getting down from a well-placed frag.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is playoffs, though. If this wasn't, New Jersey actually would have tied their own map, which isn't something you really want. Yeah, it's good to win your map out, but you gotta be kind of nervous going into map 2. But New Jersey, unfortunately, just couldn't quite pull it out towards the end. Let's hope they still have some steam going into their own map, which is going to be Cafe.
Cafe is an interesting map, especially due to the rework here, and we'll be excited to see that. Sorry, I'm just paying attention to some other things, but I'm going to be excited to see Cafe. You don't generally see a lot of it, and even though it is one of the more popular Pro League maps, you don't generally see it streamed here as much, as we still happen to have Bacon rotation instead of Theme Park.
I can't wait to have Theme Park in the rotation. It's definitely going to be interesting. But it does look like our players need a quick 5-minute break. So don't go anywhere. I know you're all quarantined, so you probably don't have anything to do, but definitely stay tuned. After that first matchup, I'm sure map 2 is going to be just as close, and hopefully we'll be seeing some Consulate tonight as well if New Jersey can win this next map up. So don't go anywhere and stay tuned.
Hey, excuse me. Blue card, we're back on here. Back on for the CEA Siege. Yeah. We're going to be going into cafe, just like the kind of smooth jazz you see playing in a normal jazz cafe here in the US. We're going to be hearing some Russian national anthem here as we go to Cafe Dostoevsky. I'm rather excited to see this map, as we learned recently, as in checking our stat sheet, that this is one of the most played maps in Invite League, which is kind of funky and highly irregular.
The most played map. It's the most picked and the least banned. I kind of suspect that has something to do with the fact that it is new in the map rotation. A lot of teams just like, a change of pace instead of playing the same maps over and over. But obviously New Jersey feels pretty comfortable on it, as it is going to be their pick for tonight. And well, after how close map 1 is, I'd be really surprised to see like a 7-2 or even like a 7-3 come out. I'm expecting it to be pretty close, but that can all change based on the map bans. And it's looking like Florida is going to ban the Thatcher. New Jersey banned the Thatcher last map, but still not going to see any play yet. Sorry, Thatcher. I know it sucks.
Yeah, we don't like that Englishman anymore. He used to be one of the people who was never banned, and now he's the person who's mostly always banned, like 50% of the time, which is definitely at most. As we see Jackal banned. So it looks like New Jersey wants to roam on their defense. That's the only point that I would make here. And that was a very picked defensive ban there. Very, very quick. And Maestro banned out, even though they leveraged the Aldo really strongly on Villa, which is a interesting choice, I'd say, in the least.
Yeah, followed up by the Maestro ban. The Maestro ban by itself isn't significant, but followed up with Florida banning Echo. That's both intel gathering operators off the board, or at least the main plant denial operators gone. It's kind of interesting to see whenever someone bans Maestro, whether the other team will ban Echo in response, because having either one or the other of those operators can be such a huge sway at the end of the round. But Mira is still on the board, as well as Goyo, and it's looking like Florida is going to be taking both of them for the first round here.
Yeah, and to me that's surprising. Just seeing Echo and Maestro means there is no plant denial except for C4s and smokes for the most part, and there isn't really a lot of information to be gained. And the Cali hard picked. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah. I'm ready with the tally. Don't worry.
Yep, we're going to have a big poster at the end. It's going to be, no, don't do this to us. No.
The Twitch instead, definitely a good 6 pick if they decide to stick it. Just backing out, just making sure if there's any last call for a needed operator that they can cover it. But it looks like they'll be sticking the Twitch. Definitely a good change coming out from Florida from New Jersey here. Yeah, New Jersey switched to the Twitch. Being able to get rid of those mirrors with those Twitch drones is going to be huge. If Twitch does decide to do that, that's going to be Universe. If utilized well enough, the Twitch drone could possibly take both mirrors out of play completely and then leave a hole punched in a reinforced wall, which is going to be a huge detriment to the defenders. But it all depends whether the Twitch drone can actually get there or not. There is a mute on the board. It's going to make the Twitch drone's path a bit more treacherous and a bit more difficult to navigate around. Like Universe is just going to be playing safe with that drone, realizing how important it's going to be. Actually a really interesting setup from Florida International. I've seen, I believe, I'm not even going to pretend to remember. I was watching the Pro League games the other day. One of the EU teams had this almost exact setup here, playing that deep freezer wall into piano completely soft, and instead holding it with a Mira from cocktail top white to freezer wall. Definitely a long angle to hold, but with a Mira there could possibly just be what Florida needs to kind of throw a wrench into New Jersey's at times.
So I have a question.
Yes.
What's your favorite Ash Elite, as we have seen both played here, one by each side?
Located by attackers.
I'm just going to ignore you because they're all done. Ash is bad op.
Oh, there are 3 of them. I totally forgot that they were 3. Because I remember when the second one came out and everyone was... Because why not, I guess? Does she even wear the sunglasses? Like, is that a thing that happens?
All I'm saying is, where's Castle's Elite? My guy's been here since year 1. Ash is up to 3. And
Does
he's
the castle have like the football one? That's
not an elite though. It's a nice skin, but it's not an elite. And Universe getting a little too bold with his Twitch drone there. It's actually gonna get it muted. Fortunately, it is in a spot where I don't think the defense will be able to get it. So he's going to try to use his other Twitch drone to try to actually free it. But Mute's going to be holding that bathroom wall. Can he do it? He does. He gets the Mute Jammer with the one Twitch drone. It should mean that he can use his... No, he didn't. He missed it. The ADS, actually. He broke the ADS that was right in front of the Mute Jammer. And that's 2 drones there. So the Twitch drone, temporarily unavailable. Can get it back, but it's going to need a little bit of pushing here.
And a nearly well-placed frag grenade coming out from not even trying. As Lyrid comes in and Warhazard gets got by his C4 from below and is down, and the friend is coming to go pick her up. And yes, she does wear the sunglasses. That's good to know, I guess. And now Menti coming in with maybe the second C4. Nope, that was Menti C4. So just checking out to see the diffuser down through the holdup, maybe with the C4. As Zophia's coming in, maybe they're trying to clear out with them custom grenades into the bathroom. As JM manages to take out JA. All the lettered names are coming out today. And now we're in a 5v3 with 35 seconds left. Yikes, this is a clean sweep here coming out here. Lyrid taking out Universe, and this is not looking pretty for New Jersey here.
This hold just looking super strong as Lyrid finds yet another, but Meep's going to sit down JN. And, well, Meep's going to have to find 4 more as he finds the second. Meep's going to have to actually ace this out to do it. On the Ash, definitely one of the operators to do it. The R4C in hand is a very great gun to have, but a quick peek from Menti on the Valkyrie sits Meep down. And yeah, just kind of looking like Florida International might have a pretty good hold on Cafe. Kind of interesting that New Jersey didn't have an IQ, even though there was a Valkyrie on the board. I believe Valkyrie was 6-pick too, so you can't really fault New Jersey for that. But I believe those black eyes were why Florida had such a strong hold on the top floor there, just providing those ample amounts of intel to really shut the attack down.
Yeah, with that 6-pick onto the Valkyrie, they did not have an IQ, so they got reasonably got in that particular case, just by not being prepared. Not to say that it was their fault in that particular case, as it was a 6-pick there, but let's see if the Kelly gets hard pick now. Be excited. Be excited.
It's not locked in yet. It's not locked in. It's locked in. We should be good. That's a Cali coming out from New Jersey. Hoping to get more than 2 kills on the board, but a 6-pick coming out from Florida from the Mute onto the Mozzie. Both intel denying operators, just with a slightly different loadout. Both with a shotgun and an SMG at their disposal, but one's a secondary, one's a primary, and it just depends which op you're picking to dictate which is which.
Mozzie is losing the sign of his stature, which is mildly disappointing, but 100% understandable for balance reasons.
The super shorty is being taken from him. It's actually, I heard, is being used to blow one of Jaeger's kneecaps off, bringing him down to a 2-speed instead of a 3-speed, which might actually be a little bit of a buff. Being able to take an extra bullet, depending on the weapon, could actually help Jaeger out a little bit. But earlier on in the round, we saw Santa on the Jaeger place an ADS behind that cocktail bar, and yeah, that's Mod going in there with a deployable, suggesting that they're actually probably going to be playing this, and it's going to be the Womai playing it. So with those magnets in his pocket, he's going to be able to deny the destruction of that shield for at least a little bit. Is Callie on top of this car holding a very long angle, but she has the gun to do it with that variable scope there, and zoom in and out, is just holding, waiting for the Womai to try to swing and peek. And goes out. They know he's there. She's waiting for it, but the drone kind of in the way. But she can still see through that. She just needs 1 bullet to down this Womai and really take control. But she's going to back off. As Capital's going to use his crossbow bolt to try to flame it out. But, oh, Capital's counter Womai. The magnet is going to catch the firebolt and completely just make it useless.
Add 1 to the tally board again. We saw the Capital being denied for the first time, at least in our games, as the Kelly is holding the Womai in place. As we're going to see if we end up with an entirely different push here, as we see a C4 thrown upstairs. Solid C4 throw, however, was unable to get the sledge. Though I do appreciate that Sledge does have the number of hammers you can do, though that number is generally wholly irrelevant.
If you see that number hit 0, there probably isn't going to be much soft breach left on the map. 25 hits is just massive, and again another magnet sucking up one of Kelly's lance charges, just completely getting rid of it. And JN actually on the flank here from the reading, he's looking in towards dining, but he may have been hurt as a lot of damage goes down. JN gets downed, and so does the smoke, and that's going to be a finish for the Sledge as well as the IQ, and another down from above. Just, oh my gosh, New Jersey making absolute use of this top down hold. Is Bandit's finally going to be finished off from the Sledge, and it's not down just to Mod and Santa, who are both not very on site. Mod is in prep, so he has a little bit of site presence, but due to that up top presence, there's really not much you can do. Capital Smoke's going down, Cali pushing in to try to take Cocktail, or sorry, not Cocktail, Bakery there, not quite going to find it, as Mod finds yet another one onto Cali and onto you, taking Capital off. Thurman's going to be opening red stairs.
That's a rather fantastic dance we're seeing in between the Jaeger and the IQ. Let's see who looks at each other first, as IQ sweeps the corner as soon as the Jaeger runs back around the other side here. And let's see if the Kelly manages to find the IQ, since they know where the IQ is. Kelly is peeking out of Bakery long into the desk there and managed to get got by the IQ. Is not even trying to get out. Mod, now we're in a 1v3 with the plant going down.
Santa trying to deny it, but unfortunately the cross is covered by not even trying on Sledge. Just making sure that plant will go down, but find all the frags, it doesn't need to go down. And New Jersey definitely answering back, looking very strong on that attack. Opening up above, and then finding not one, not two, but 3 picks through that floor, and those holes that they created, just kind of making Florida look like an amateur team there. But Florida definitely had its turn, making New Jersey look like an amateur team. And that's when you can tell that these teams are so evenly matched, is they're doing a great job at countering each other. And it's, again, just the scoreline shows 1-1. It's still early in the map, but keeping it close.
Impressively, all that destruction and demolition was done only by the Sledge. They didn't even bring a buck. And that shows how effective vertical play can be. Just only with one Sledge, they're able to entirely rip apart a defense here, as they're doing kitchen service again, this time with a pulse. Hopefully being able to tag the Sledge in that particular respect. And no Kelly this time, though Zofia does have the similar blue color palette splash as Zofia. It's nowhere near close to being the same and makes me mildly disappointed.
Yeah, Florida International making really good use of these 6 picks. Round one.
They probably have abs, like all the operators probably do.
I would be surprised if Zofia did not have abs. Anyways, making good use of these 6 picks from the first round. 6 picking onto the Valkyrie to hide those black eyes, making good use of the intel. To round 3, 6 picking onto the Pulse, another really strong intel gathering operator, but unfortunately his direct counter IQ will be taken from New Jersey, so she will be able to spot him out through that soft floor that is above kitchen. And well, it kind of just comes down to who can gun better. IQ can actually shoot with her pistol while her gadget is out, while Pulse is kind of limited to the fact that he has to put his cardiac sensor away to be able to shoot. So it's just going to kind of come down to who can find the pick first, and it really depends.
Yeah, and now we're going to see a second floor take as we saw before. Let's see how quickly we can clear out the second floor. We do see a blue defender nearly capped. Yikes. On the cross in from Menti there, nearly getting got. Going through engine room over there in train. That's a small problem, but alas, nothing happened. So now we're just going to do standard second floor hold here with just one person by the looks of it. We'll see if they do third floor down or just second floor down from New Jersey. And it looks like they're just pushing it on the second floor here as Ash enters into engineering.
The Monzi will be droned out there. He'll shoot the drone, but they still know he's in reading, so this could be a problem for them. You can see on Monzi's vision there that he actually does have a drone at his disposal if he decides to use it. But if he hops on that drone, he's not going to be on gun, and he could be pushed. But Ash, standing still for too long, is going to find Lyrid's C4 from below. Actually, beautiful teamwork coming out between the Pulse and the Bandit, using Bandit's C4 first, so Pulse still has access to his. And well, now Bandit can focus on tricking, and actually Mozzie has his C4 as well. He will be up top, so he's not going to be able to play it from underneath. He's just going to be trying to hold reading as he finds yet another couple drones there. And he's just holding it. Mod flanking up from red stairs is not going to find 1, but 2 and 3 as IQ tries to push him down as well. And oh my gosh, this round is going just the complete opposite direction than last round. And the C4 from below finally pulses C4. It's going to close it out as a flawless round for Florida International.
That was a very solid, highlighted round there. We got the first half of it, or we got the latter half. We got the last 2 kills, but we didn't get the first one there on that 3-piece. But that last round quickly ended with a rather fiery finish, as it seems like that C4 the Pulse did some mighty fine work pointing out to other people and leveraging the use of multiple C4s to clean up the second floor while also staying on the first floor.
And again, it just all comes down to that 6-pick because, yeah, there was an IQ on the opposite team, but the opposite team didn't know that Florida was rocking a Pulse, and therefore IQ probably wasn't even looking for the Pulse. And, well, once the first pick came out, the kill cam, there's no kill cam, but you see who kills you, was from the Bandit. So, again, just making really good use of hiding that Pulse to really shield it and really just punish New Jersey here. Is again, they're going to be 6-picking from the Goyo onto the Valkyries. They go all the way back top floor.
We also did see the powerful play, as we mentioned before, from the 6-pick of the Ash onto the Ash. Maybe changing skins, who knows? But it seems like we have the standard set coming in from New Jersey with the... And it seems Universe happens to be the flex operator between Kali, Gridlock, and a few other choices here in Zofia. We now are going to see the Gridlock here to see if the Super Shorty and the tracks will be able to prevent those rotations, which are so catastrophic as we saw in the last round. The Jaeger ripped apart everyone up in the train.
10 seconds left.
Yeah, looking like some pretty similar setup coming out from Florida International. They did win Bar Cocktail first try last go around. So, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it. So they're just going to keep doing the same thing and hope New Jersey doesn't find a way to counter it very effectively between rounds, which, with this setup, it's so hard to dissect, even with a top-down view like this. All the different cross angles they have, like from this Mira right here that we see her placing down to Lyrid, who holds in bathroom and actually has an angle from bathroom in towards Cigar. There's just so many angles you have to watch and be worried about that it's kind of hard to push into Piano here. And if you're not pushing Piano, you're gonna have to repel out the east side, and well, that's Castles. And I mean, I'm included on this. I'm not very confident playing on Windows. It's very hard to do it effectively. You really have to be upside down, and that's super disorienting. So New Jersey's gonna have to come up with something, and really just some weak point of this defense here and really exploit it.
Yeah, and we're at an interesting point right now where this current defense design requires you to push from the other side, which is kind of wild that you have to push from the east side, as normally most attacks end up from the west side. So that's the kind of defense's weak point, is it preys upon the fact that, as we see here, that traditionally it's highly irregular that you push from the east side, and we see Zofia here, and I believe the Sledge, who fragged open that castle window, sledged open the window, trying to clean up that side entirely and cut off that rotation.
Yeah, it looks like Zosa actually trying to get that mirror open, but it's just... You can't quite find the angle from that window, unfortunately. It looks like she's going to hit the prone under that window. Another C4 below Newhead. She's going to find anyone this time, but Lyrid is going to find the head of War Hazard. That's the thermite off the board. That's all of New Jersey's hard breach gone. And, well, fortunately for them, there isn't that many hard walls they have to take. But it's still a man down. It's still a gun down. And Nade coming out from Sledge. And Castle's prone under the window. He's going to jump right out after. But not even trying, he's ready for it. He finds Castle, punishing him for trying to jump out, sees the mirror's head, quick peek, and doesn't quite find her. But it's going to be another run out from Menti as he finds one. But Universe finds one onto Lyrid, and JA finds another onto Santa. And it's looking like the advantage is for New Jersey right now. They know Menti is downstairs, but JN is downstairs as well. And, well, Sight is completely theirs. I don't know if Menti has the C4, but they might not even have the intel to act upon it. As the C4 comes up over White, but is going to be sat down by Meep. And War Hazard with the Claymore is going to find the finishing kill onto JN. Looking a little sketchy for New Jersey there, but unfortunately Florida being a little too aggressive and jumping out, giving away their site presence, allowed New Jersey to quite literally just walk on it.
One of the things we did see there, which was a little bit different, was you can, if you're fast enough and just hair trigger the Claymore, specifically on stairs and in that setup, you can trigger the Claymore without killing you, and that's what he was trying to do there, which is why that camera looks extremely odd. So now we're going back to Bar Cocktail, as that was a failed defense, as we currently have a 2-2 side with a Vigil, Castle, not Vigil, I lied, it's a Valkyrie, Castle, Jaeger, Mute, and Mira. And as we look at the stats here, it seems pretty evenly spread across both teams. The top fragger on either side only having 5, and like 3 and 1 being spread across the board. And it is only a 2-2 here, as many rounds have been very one-sided kills-wise. So it's either like a 5-3, or 3 people left in the round, or 2 people. There's rarely ever a 1v1, at least on this particular map so far.
Yeah, this map has definitely been a lot more one-sided than the other. I mean, it's not one-sided in terms of team, it's just per round. It just seems that one team has the advantage over the other, or then the next round it's something different. We've seen it go completely back and forth. Florida taking the first round, New Jersey taking the second, Florida taking the third, and New Jersey taking the fourth, just switching back and forth. But Florida International, being pretty confident in their setup here, is going to run it back with the same exact setup here. And it's kind of interesting to see New Jersey take the site apart and then watch the defense try to run it back. They definitely know what New Jersey is going to do, so they can kind of counter it a little bit better, maybe not be so aggressive and be completely off-site. That's just one of those small mistakes that it happens. It is a game.
Yeah, and while we're waiting here for the attackers to come here, it looks like they're going to be doing the east side pushing him with a little bit on the second floor here. It looks like they are pushing the second floor to try and clean out those runouts. Did you know that Mozzie actually means something?
What does it mean?
Mosquito for the Australian slang, so that's why he has pests. Fun fact, I learned that while I was over there. As we see a drone come out, trying to drone out our good friend, the Jaeger, or Menti, and probably the Jaeger, who was also in here. Menti rotating all the way down into white. I don't know who's on the second floor right now. I just can't pay attention anymore.
I think it's Meep on the second floor. Meep had pushed up from red stairs. Yeah, just roaming around on the second floor, looking around, looking for any roamers. But Menti is rotated all the way down white. Probably just waiting to run out that white doorway to find the repellers out the east side. And you saw the Claymore go down on reading door, but I don't think there's a Claymore down on white door. But no, Menti's going to be starting to push back up. Perhaps the intel that Meep is lurking around on second floor went out. And, well, Velk might be trying to flank him and cut him off just a little bit here. As there's only just over a minute in the round, and the attackers still don't have much presence. But I think the first engagement is going to be Menti and Meep here, as they just constantly play ring around the rosy here on second floor, just barely missing each other, as the rest of the team is pushing both from the east and the west. Mute still holding bathroom, looking for anyone to swing in. Sees the little bit of sledge shoulders, he goes to swing in, but JN is going to find the pick. Not even onto the sledge.
Melee. I want to see what happens there. What happened there with the melee here is Menti manages to get not even trying. And JA manages to get Menti with the solid refrag here coming up from white stairs. And now we're in a 3v2, which is very winnable, but only 30 seconds left into the diffuser on the other side of the map, and people far apart from each other, as it is still very winnable, firing over the head of the defender there, hiding behind the bar.
Just barely missing the sightline onto JN there. We'll finally see it do some damage, but will actually be down, and it's not down just to Universe. Oh, but it's Zofia. She can pick herself up. That might be huge for this round. Does get back up on 5 HP, but gets fragged from Cocktail. It's not on just to Zofia. She finds one, finds two, and just needs one more. She doesn't have diffuser, but Mira is crouched behind her. It doesn't quite check the angle. That was so close. I was so hyped for that 5 HP Zofia clutch, but unfortunately it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I happened to check the left side instead of the right side, and that's a rather unfortunate circumstance. As now we're in a 3-2 split favoring the defenders, which is roughly what we'd expect here. And do you think that this will end up being a 4-2 or a 3-3?
The way we've seen these rounds go so far, my bet's on a 3-3, just going back and forth, not a single team being able to get any rounds together. But even if it ends, if it's a 3-3, I'm kind of scared for Florida because this is New Jersey's map, and teams tend to be a lot stronger on defense on their own map picks. And yeah, they should do. They should be pretty well. They should do pretty good on their attack, which New Jersey has been doing. But if you go 3-3 and New Jersey just starts chaining rounds together on the defense, well, there's really not much you can do. Again, Florida is six picking onto the pulse,
Attackers need to locate
being
and
utilized
defuse
very
bombs.
well originally. Hiding it this time, maybe so it's not in the forefront of New Jersey's mind. But they do know that you're most likely going to be playing Pulse again, as you did run Pulse on this site last time. And actually,
Bomb
New
located by
Jersey
attackers.
may not remember because they don't have an IQ this round. This could be another round for Florida, so it really could go either way.
Yeah, and now we're at the interesting point. I'd call this the turning point of this map, where it looks like Minty is hiding, so that they try and hide the pick as much as they can, with maybe a spawn peek coming
5
up from
seconds
Bandit.
to
I'm not
insertion.
entirely sure here what's going on. But as we're about to start it here,
Attackers are
we see the
moving to
Wamai
defuse the bomb.
throwing up his little... What are we calling those? There's an official name. His discs, his
Magnets.
frisbees?
Magnets.
Magnets, okay. So he's throwing up his magnets around the door, maybe to catch the Kali, or at least it looks like the Capitao, as we've seen once so far. Let's see if we can get second one on the tally there.
Yeah, the shield's not going down on Bakery this time. Still an ADS, and Wamai playing close in prep. But Jaeger with two ADSs at his feet is going to be trying to hold this without a shield. No Cali this time. There is a Wamai, so Capitao will have to be careful with those firebolts. But with the ample amount of flashbangs that the attack most likely has, yeah, Nomad rocking 3, Capito probably with another 3. Being able to drain that shouldn't be too much of a problem. Just getting those magnets off the bakery door, and then you're able to flame behind that desk and get Jaeger out of there. But it looks like Capito's actually going to be kind of hesitant to
Attackers
use those
dropped the
asphyxiation bolts, as it
Attackers
was
will
eaten
cover
up
the
last time. And, well, he's not even going to be outside Bakery. He's going to be up top.
Yeah, now we're pivoting into a slightly different attack here, moving from Holy Second Floor. It's
Oh.
a triple kill from a C4! Oh, lordy. It looks like they blew someone back out the window, too. Holy cow.
Oh, that's gotta be heart-wrenching to be New Jersey. The round is not over yet. Yes, you're at a 2 versus 5 deficit. The diffuser stuck perfectly in that window with vertical holes watching it. Fortunately, none of the defense is looking through those vertical holes. 2v5, there's still a minute 15 left on the clock. This definitely is doable for New Jersey, but that's going to be really, really tough after that 3-piece. They do have the utility to do it. Nomad with those air jabs to watch their flanks so they don't have to worry about it, as well as the Capitao with his smoke and fire bolts to root out the attackers and cut off sightlines. These are probably the two attackers you'd want left in a 2v5, but that pulse is still on the board and still gathering information. And, well, the defense knows that both attackers are pushing from white wall. Nitro goes over and finds Nomad as well. And it's just down to Meat.
Oh, lordy, and Meat manages to get one.
Oh.
Two. Let's see if he can get the reverse sweep ace, because that would be one very, very interesting time. They don't know exactly where he is, but they got a good rough idea, as he's been killing people at this point. And then, yeah, that was the perfect flick here, as he's now rotating around here into bar, and he gets caught from the sideline by JN, and that round ended very quickly and early on.
That was a little bit of the hype up as the defense got too aggressive and started swinging on Meep with a frag on the VIP and a quick turn towards bottom white to find another. But unfortunately, it's still a 1v3 at that point, and there's not much you can do. The defense just feeling aggressive, sits him down, bringing it to a 4-2 half, which isn't that bad. 4-2 is pretty good if you're going from the defense there. It's where you want to be. This is where you can't let the mind games get to you. Being down 2, yes,
it looks like you're down 2, but now you're on defense. Now if you go 4-2, you tie it up. You might even be able to go 5-1 and win it out, which is what New Jersey's going to be trying to do. And again, this is their map, so I'd be surprised if we didn't see some interesting holds come out from them.
Yeah, 4-2 is a pretty bog standard line
Attackers
for
need to
most of
locate
these
and
slightly
defuse as many
defensive
bombs
sided
as they
maps.
can.
So this is about what we'd expect from any team, really. If it was either a 5-1 or a 3-3 split, now that would be something to not necessarily like profess about, but at least to talk about as a very statistically significant scoreline here. And let's see if we see it looks like we're having a slightly different hold here. We're having the double reinforcement in bathroom. May even be the same hold we saw before. But with that rotation being made in between bathroom and freezer, I don't think that that's necessarily the case here.
10 seconds to go.
Yeah, those mirrors still not quite finding a home. The reinforcement finally going down, so it's looking like it's probably going to be pretty similar in terms of setup here. But they're not actually opening that freezer wall just yet. Which they are now, of course, as soon as I say it. So yeah, the rotate hold being in a slightly different spot is definitely going to kind of cut off some of those crossfires that Florida International had when they were playing bathroom. But those sight lines still could be made, but it's just whether or not they do it. It's looking like Florida is going again for a pretty split push here, having some repels east, some repel up west, and Ash pushing up white. Will have to deal with not even who's in engine, who finds a nice quick tap onto JN. That's the buck off the board. That's a lot of vertical play gone for Florida really soon into the round.
I'd say more so than the vertical play, especially for bar, it's the frag grenades are gone. As we only have one set of frag grenades left right now. As we managed to get one on the run out, 2 on the run out. Yikes. Holy cow, we get 2 on the run out. Now we got someone trapped outside here. Let's see if this firefight, if the
Defender has been
oh my goodness, the triple on the run out while being detected. That's a solid yikes for me, Cat. And now we're in a 5v1, getting a 3-piece there. Wow.
That's my thoughts exactly. Wow. You can tell New Jersey is just fired up at this point. They are not out of the game yet. Yeah, they're down 2, but after that, they're still fighting for it. They're kind of ticked off at this point too. They're just playing with a new fiery aggression, and that's gotta hurt. Santa holding JA on the Valkyrie outside of reading door. There was a Claymore there, so unfortunately he couldn't hop in right away, and was actually caught while Ash tried to push and try to get the knife. But unfortunately, JA was playing just a little bit too far back. He got a 3-piece from that run out, leaving it just down to Menti with a minute left in the round. I'm not sure where Diffuser is. I'm assuming it's probably down out the east rappel, but Menti could have it as well. It's the one problem with this new overlay is it doesn't quite tell you who has Diffuser. I'm assuming Menti must have it since it's not down on the map anywhere. So he doesn't. He doesn't. Huh? Help me out here. I'm lost, Coin. Help me.
What do you mean by he doesn't? Just to clarify here, as we're waiting over 30 seconds left in the round, we get to Tozy a little bit. But what were you asking again?
I don't know where the diffuser is. Does Menti have it? No, is it down outside reading? It's down outside reading. I'm pretty sure I just saw it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm losing my mind. But yeah, now with 15 seconds, doing a little bit of damage onto not even trying on his shin there from the skylight. And I don't think Menti's going to be trying to do this. Yes, it is down outside reading door. There it is. Smoke's going out, but it's just a little too little, a little too late. New Jersey comes into their defending half with a flawless round and a very demanding flawless half, if they say so. Flawless round, rather.
Yeah, we had a back-to-back spectacular set of triple kills. One from C4 and one from a bold act of bravery, amongst other things.
Where was that run out from? That must have been from Heaven Window, right? Because there was a
that's exactly what that's exactly where he ran out. He jumped out there, he killed the guy on rappel, and then he got the guy on White Stairs rappel, and then he was trapped outside because the door wasn't broken.
So he jumped the reading door Claymore. That is amazing. Got 2 on the outside and then fought I believe that was Santa on the Ash to get back into the building. Well, oh my gosh, New Jersey definitely with just this new fiery passion to win this out. winning their first defensive round pretty commandingly. We'll be going down to service cooking here to try to hold
Attackers
this
need to
site
locate
again.
and defuse bombs.
Not bringing a pulse or any intel operators to try the nitro through the floor like Florida did, and they did it very effectively. But they do have a single nitro on the Cade, so can do a little bit damage with that if need be, as well as 2 deployables from Smoke and Womai. And it's looking like they're going to be holding Bakery as well, as the deployable shield goes down on the opposite side of the Bakery counter. Then we'll have Florida International there, just a little variation to kind of switch it up. Couldn't make the difference, as well as the castle. I don't think we saw Florida International bring the castle out.
No. And you know what that last round reminded
5
me
seconds
of?
left before insertion.
Remember way back when at the Invitationals, I think it was 3 years ago, when the our good old Australian friends did the run out on Oregon with the Ella shotgun and got the 4-piece?
Yes, yeah,
Attackers have recovered their
I know.
diffuser.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think of when I see that, except you know the MPX is slightly less effective than the Ella shotgun. As we see here, we're going to do a more forthwith bang kick here. We have a lot of deployable shields. Holy cow, flashes coming out. Let's see if we can flash out our good friend the Smoke just a little bit.
Yeah, they're gonna have to try. It's looking like they're trying for just a straight Bakery take here. It looks like at least 4 out of 5 of the attackers are touching Bakery, but there's 2 defenders holding it as a nade comes out and breaks the deployable and breaks a lot of meat. About 75% of them as the health goes down. Smoke trying to get a smoke canister out. The monitor does catch it, but he turns to look at a drone and he doesn't detonate the canister as Lyriad pushes in and sits him down. Beautiful acting on that drone there as Lyriad is looking to push in even more. The drone moves up, realizes that Meep's in prep, very lit, but they don't know he's lit. Is Maverick's gonna make some Swiss cheese out of that prep wall?
Wonder why he isn't using his gadget. That's one of the functions of the gadget, right? Is that it burns open that relatively quickly. Unless I don't remember how gadget work.
His gadget for what?
You can burn out castle barricades, right? Aren't they more?
You can put holes in them, but it does take a lot of the canister to actually destroy it.
Okay.
Just hitting it just so you can peek it quite easily. I actually think was that the defense hitting it, or was it the attack?
Yeah, it looked like the defender was doing a prep move to break it and try and get the ash, and was ultimately unsuccessful, tagging the castle for a fair amount of.
But it looks like Santa on the Maverick is going to be trying to open this Bakery wall using that blowtorch, cutting a horizontal line both up top and underneath to make that wall soft. And then he's got his lovely friend Buck right behind him with those with his skeleton key to make quick work of that soft wall as the nade comes in, but it goes deep. And well, now Mav's gonna have to hit the prone and open this wall, which can be very dangerous. The defenders try to hit the prone. See Buck there holding his angle though, prone looking through that hold. And it's actually going to be Menti who finds the next pick as he's pushing from bar. That's going to be, I believe, the Jaeger gone. Yes, that's the Jaeger from behind the bar. And just again, some beautiful split presence coming out from New Jersey. From Florida International. The Universe on red stairs is going to find the pick onto Lyrid. I believe he was droned as Lyrid tried to find the pick onto him, but didn't quite find it. His mod holding the angle in prep is going to sit down.
And now we're in a 3v2 situation with 11 seconds left here. We see the good old TCSB coming out here, managing to get one more here. Now we're in a 2v2 and a 2v1, and let's see if we have time to play. He's playing upstairs, and he's shooting a dead body. Unfortunately, did not see the appropriate person plant. Now that plant spot is definitely not the default plant, nor is it particularly the best. However, the plant is down, which makes this a significantly more difficult retake, especially with the gridlock just throwing cans everywhere. And I don't think they have exactly the best idea where the castle is currently.
It actually probably would have been detrimental if they planted it in a default plant spot, as he was holding from above, trying to just slow peek towards bar. Menti is on that angle, watching it very closely, and that's going to be a swift response from Florida International, bringing it to 5 versus 3 scoreline. So Florida only needs a couple more rounds to take New Jersey's map from off of them.
Yeah, and this is, let's see if they're going back. They're now going to they're going back to Kitchen Bakery again, and we'll see if they'll be able to successfully hold it this time. I think they were pretty close. There just were some key instances where things just didn't line up properly. Many of those early frags, like onto the smoke, like the smoke dying early without that being detonated was rather unfortunate. I do believe the Ash managed to see the top of the head over basically the counter there in Bakery. As we see a 6-pick from Valkyrie onto something. Let's see if we got some variety.
Is it onto Valkyrie?
It looks like it's going to be onto Valkyrie because nothing has been chosen yet.
Oh!
No, Legion. That was a hot swap into Legion. That's rather unfortunate with the IQ still around, but we'll see if how many of those Legion goo mines end up actually getting shot.
Yeah, Legion, after seeing his recent change, I'm not. It definitely was a nerf. It definitely was a nerf. He can no longer see his goos through walls. They don't do any initial damage. They do a little bit more damage over time. But it's definitely removed a lot of the strength from this operator. He's still definitely very useful. Giving that audible cue on where the attackers are pushing from, as well as forcing them to pull the goo out before it does too much damage, is definitely very useful. But not quite as much as they were before. It's looking like, though, New Jersey going for a pretty similar holds here, bringing the Cade, as well as the castle and the smoke. I'd be interested to see if they try to hold Bakery again after being shut down so quickly and losing a player, as well as the majority of another player so quickly. And it doesn't look like it. JA is going to be playing very aggressively, swinging from prep. It's going to take a lot of damage. Smoke! Just the biggest brain play, getting that shield up very last second. Very risky play, but that's probably going to come back to help him later in the rounds.
Yeah, as we get the TCSG taking out a drone there, and we're still in a 5v5 with a reasonable amount of time left in the round here, with the Jaeger having a little bit taken off of the castle, and the Jaeger get got by Lynn and Madi respectively. Or modded respectively. Wow, I can English today as we have 2 minutes left in the round here. And then we have Legion trying to flank it from the back. Let's see if Legion can tag someone as the Maverick is making holes everywhere and trying to open up into Kitchen.
We've seen rounds swing in the past, but like we said, Cafe has seemingly been more one-sided than the past. And right now, it's looking to be in Florida's favor here. As Maverick's trying to get that Bakery wall open. Right now, the attack is confined to Bakery, which is definitely a plus. As Cade pulls his Electroclaw off that wall to get the Nitro through and goes deep and actually finds the pick onto the Ash, who was busy breaking that castle barricade. Will no longer be able to do that. A nade coming out from either Maverick or Buck there. I'm pretty sure it was Maverick. Won't quite go through the wall. It'll actually drop down on the soft side and blow a little hole in it. So Maverick's going to be opening that up. He hears a defender prone on the other side, and it's going to come off of that. Well, he's going to have to try to do something. The clock is still ticking down, and Meep's still holding in coat here. Menti trying to push down from red stairs will get gooed, and again, due to that goo, we'll have an audible cue, and he'll be forced to back up to pull it out. Another nade going up, though, won't quite find smoke as he finally drops one of his canisters down, and it's going to be JN who swings into prep, finds the frag on to not even trying on the Cade, and, well, leaving it to a 4v2 as Santa finds another one, and it's now down to Meep on 10 HP against 4 attackers. This is going to be a very hard round to win out. There's Goose to help him as JN is going to get the diffuser down. The bulletproof's gone, and it's Meep in a 1v4 retake scenario. The diffuser down on 10 HP, and the attackers are just holding angles. This is gonna be so hard to win, and yeah, there it is. Santa holding all the way back from Bakery, just watching that angle. Pops up just at the right time to close that round out.
Yeah, and that was a very quick round, in my personal opinion. Like, it was decided very early, unlike any spectacular moves that we saw earlier. Now we're on match point. Like, this is match point
Already?
instead of traditional game point. Yeah.
Wow.
Florida won the first, and now they're winning the second, and now we have a 6-3 scoreline here. So New Jersey is going to have to get at it here in this particular case and try and win Cocktail Bar again, because they're on their last legs currently, and they cannot let anything else slip by.
Yeah, they did win Bar Cocktail their first go-around, so I would kind of be surprised to see New Jersey lose this round. Next rounds, though, is definitely going to be tough. Losing Service Cooking, the kitchen site, twice in a row is definitely got to be tough,
Attackers need to locate
especially
and
considering
defuse
their
as many
next
bombs
site
as they
up
can.
would probably be reading, dining, and that site is just a really rough site to hold. I've seen some interesting holds that do it very well, but just in general, it's not a site you want to be holding. And Kitchen tends to be the better site, but it's just New Jersey's gonna have to try something different. Maybe play a little bit riskier, like they did on round 1 of this half, by kind of taking some of those peaks. Like Meep getting a 3-pick off of that peak outside Heaven window was probably the riskiest play you can do. Jumping out that window, there could be a Claymore underneath, there could be an air jab, they could be watching you, but
5 seconds to go.
he didn't get lucky. There was probably some intel on that, and that really just swayed the round into New Jersey's favor. So they're gonna have to try something different.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing here. They're doing a slightly different mirror setup as far as you know, and setting out their roamers a little bit different. As we see the roamer on first floor and roamer on second floor being slightly spaced apart, which is a little bit more of a dynamic setup than what they were attempting the first time.
Yeah, another interesting difference is Valkyrie having that black eye out on I don't even know what to call that building. Just watching all the repels from both south and west side, and the attackers aren't gonna spot this out. This could be some massive intel coming out, but Valkyrie seeing the tip of Lyra's head is not gonna quite find the shot as Lyra does and sits Meep down. That's a defender off the board very early. Definitely well read from New Jersey, trying to play a bit more risky, playing more operators off site. But Lyra is just seemingly knows that they're there, is not even trying to push up brown stairs. Will get damaged just to above half HP. And it looks like he's going to be rotating kind of back towards site. Not completely yet. The attackers are just completely drumming him out. They know he's there. Ash opens up that white wall, but just very narrowly doesn't see the Jaeger rotate that drop.
Yeah, but now we're at a minute 30 here with Buck doing some demolition, opening up the floor. It looks like we might have some contest from the person who he is trying to buck out here. And this is definitely around slightly favoring Florida right now, but it definitely could swing the other way. There are a minute 20 left. They aren't exactly on the third floor yet, and they aren't really pushing the third floor that aggressive. But as we know, it's the 20-second meta, so until there's 20 seconds left, anything can happen.
Yeah, something's gotta happen. The nade coming out from Buck is gonna put it back inside as Mira finally peeks it. Not gonna do any damage. There's a tiny little sliver off of Mira's HP. It's gonna be Maud who finds the pick on a war hazard, repelling on the windows. Finds another as JN finds a nade from below. Oh no, New Jersey just completely getting picked apart here. His diffuser's gonna be going down. He hears it going down, throws Nitro out, but not in the right position as he's being pushed from all sides. And that's going to be a flawless round to win out the second map for Florida. And yeah, like they're saying in chat, that's a GG.
Yeah, that was rather spectacular. I mean, considering what we saw in Villa, you'd almost think that the maps that were selected were swapped, right? Like, considering the fights we had and like the level of play. But definitely good effort here. Good job getting to the round of 32 here for New Jersey, getting the top of the round here, and good job on Florida winning both maps. That was a rather spectacular map on the so that was a rather spectacular final map there, and I was very, very impressed with the show that we were
just in general. Florida International on that last round using the Buck below reading, he did find a nade from below, but really just moving New Jersey's defense around completely and enabling Maud on IQ on the rappel to capitalize and find a two-piece was just beautiful display of teamwork and how you really should be taking that top floor site, just pressuring from below, getting the defense to move around so your other attackers, it's just like, shooting fish in a barrel, shooting birds and fish in a barrel, fish going barrels.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it was just a beautiful display of teamwork, and New Jersey just kind of seemed to lose steam. Like, even at the end of Villa, they started off Villa very, very strong, and yeah, they did win that last round to bring it to OT, but then Florida won those two, and they got, I don't know, I just feel like they lost all steam very early on.
Yeah, it's one of those things where unfortunately we saw that Florida knew exactly how to pick apart most traditional defenses, and that when they tried to do something non-traditional, they very quickly pivoted and adapted to that. Especially after that insane reading run out we saw, they were very, very much prepared for that and checking, which is how the Maverick, as we saw in the last round, managed to pick off the Valkyrie. Now, in just a second, once things pop in, we will be having a winner's interview with a member of with Modded here. We'll be having a winner's interview here with Modded in just a second, who is a member of Florida International. And I'm very interested to talk to him about how that triple C4 went. Because I believe hello, is this Modded here on the line?
Yes, it is indeed.
Congratulations, first off, for winning your round of 32 in this particular case.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
How did you feel Villa going? I don't think that went exactly as you expected, considering that one went all the way.
Yeah, well, Villa started out kind of tough. We had our problems, but we sorted everything out in the end. We stayed positive. Our top frag, Santa, was having problems with the internet, so he couldn't carry us as he usually does. But Lyrid, our main support, props to him. He pretty much clutched out almost every round. So yeah, and also John was crazy. He's one of our better players. He's new this season, and he pulled his weight, and so did Menti. Everybody pulled their weight in the end. It was good experience.
I have a question.
Go for it.
John, is that J1234N?
Yes, that is John. Yes.
Got that. That would have been so much easier. Gotcha. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I have to ask, if you were identifying problems, what were the problems that you saw in Villa, if you don't mind me asking, right?
Well,
if you
one of the main problems for us is that during the round we had way too many people alive, so our flank drones were just going unwatched, and somehow flankers were slipping through the nomads, the claymores, and we couldn't watch the flanks. And another problem was when we had one person, we still had too many drones up, so you'd have to cycle through all the cams to watch all the flanks, and that was kind of tough because NGIT was flanking both sears at the same time, so we could only call one flank at a time.
So it was an embarrassment of riches there that was causing many of your issues on Villa, which is a rather interesting take here. And for Cafe, was that also what you expected? Because that, at least from the scoreline anyway, seems significantly easier than what you would have expected from your opponent's map.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, Cafe is one of our weaker maps, but we've been practicing it for a really long time. We knew it was inevitable that we're gonna have to play Cafe at one point, so we just decided to keep running scrims on Cafe. Like every day, we practice our strats, and everybody did their job. Everybody did their job. Maverick tricking was perfect. Everything was perfect. We ran the strats as we should, and we ended up winning.
What was your reaction in comms to the run out that ended up getting the 3-piece while being...
Oh yeah, so that's one of the problems we had, is like, oh, we should cover the run out, right? But so basically, I trust my teammates. Like Lyrid, he was supposed to watch the thing, but he got on his drone, but that was fine. I trust him to watch it, but like he pretty much fixes his problems. Like if I tell my teammates something, they end up fixing it the next round. This is why I like my team. Like they know what to do for one mistake. It'll never happen twice.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Blue Card, do you have any particular questions to ask?
Just the one. Is there anything you want to say to your fans or anybody watching out there?
Well, nothing really, but our top frag, Santa, he was having problems, and next game he's gonna frag out.
Oh wait, no, I have another. Do you think you're going all the way? You think you could take this the open?
Well, I'm positive. I'm positive we have decent players. We can go all the way.
Okay. Well, I mean, what's your end goal here? First place, or just trying to make it to invite, or
our end goal is just to win everything. Honestly,
win it all. He says, shoot for the stars. I dig it. Well, awesome. If that's it, if you don't want to say anything else, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. But you think you got away with it? We do, of course, have to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, the ones who make this all possible. We love them. Firstly, Corsair, a really awesome, top quality computer peripherals. They're buffing the prize pool this season for Open and for Invite, as well as supplying some nice keyboards for the prize pool. So go check their stuff out. They're really nice. Of course, Rogue Energy, the OG sponsor, really great energy drinks. If you just need a little boost for either casting, playing, whatever you need. Homework, I know quarantine's a little bit tough. Don't forget to use code CEA at checkout for 10% off. And, of course, what's new.gg for their really top quality clothing that is released. Go get yourself some CEA merch at what's new.gg. That's NEU. Go to, I believe it's categories or catalog, something with a C, and you should see the CEA, and I'm sure there's a link in the Twitch chat as well. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. We have another Open League game for you Saturday night, so don't miss that out. Feel free to join the CEA Discord to get notifications, and I think that's my rant done. I've been Blue Card.
And
Can
I've
I give
been
a quick
Coin.
shout out?
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah, go for it, go.
I want to give a shout out to Jovi, our coach, and Wizard for teaching us how to pro in the hallways. Thank you.
There you go. The snake plays. You heard it here.
CTM ready. All right, I'm out. GG.
CTM ready. Thank you, Modded. But yeah, I've been Blue Card and Coinman.
Yep,
It's been fun.
Yep, it's been fun, and see y'all later.